conversation will rule the nation on face-to-face basis when we blast off. It's real on the dance floor, on the turf of the court. Yeah, we here for the sport, so take your mask off so I can hear your ass talk. Let me hear you explain. Hold the thoughts on your brain. Is your ass smart? Spit facts and real talk. I need that shit from the street that make you think real deep and take a long walk. This podcast is hella lit with my man J.D. Fence and Skizzo Blizzo.
What it do, family? Welcome back. You know what it is, man. Mask Uncovered Podcast. Back in the building. As always, man, this is J.D. Fence. Find me on all platforms, JAYDFENCE. And of course, we got...
It's your boy Hollywood Skiz. I know y'all ain't seen me in a minute. Back out here. Me and my boy, it's been like 4 weeks, I think. But we going back strong. New plan. Tell them about it. Well, we ain't got time today. We horse around, but we got some special guests in the house today. So we're going to, if you ladies would introduce yourselves. To my right first.
Certainly. I'm Deborah Turner, and I am a realtor. I am licensed in both Massachusetts and Georgia. Here in Massachusetts, my real estate brokerage firm is Boston Trust Realty Group. I specialize in residential homes, both for single homes, first-time home buyers, as well as multifamily homes. Definitely love working with our investors in Boston. There's a lot of that going on right now. We work with commercial buyers as well as folks that are out there looking for leases. So.
And who we got on the other side of the table?
Hi, I'm Marcia, Riddick, and I am a realtor with William Ravis Real Estate. We are located in the south end of Boston. It's a luxury brand brokerage. And I represent sellers, buyers, landlords, renters in the Boston and greater Boston area. I pretty much specialize in rentals and first-time home buyers. So if you're someone out there that's looking to list your home or rent, you feel free to reach out. I also have done a lot of work in the community around first-time home buyer workshops. So because I'm an educator at heart, I feel like it's important to educate about the process.
And that's why we're here tonight.
Definitely. So, with those type of topics, right? Like, what made you get into this field? Like, how did you? Okay.
Time is off. Y'all ain't seen this in a minute, man. Shit. But I'm gonna do the drink of the day real quick since y'all used to it. New drink podcast about real estate, so just came up with it real quick with the women, the ladies here today. We call it the Quavo Penthouse Special.
Hello.
Got a little Quavo Special, Quavo Mix, and the ginger and lime. That's that simple, real quick. So if you're near the liquor store, you ain't caught it now, but tomorrow, remember these ingredients. Quavo Special, Quavo Mix, and the Jameson ginger and lime. Nah, it's just for me. This is drink of the day. It's Skizzo.
You're gonna come back and still be on some stingy
Woo!
shit. Yeah, you can have that. Stick to my black thought.
But back to the program. Take it away, JD.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. So what made you get into like this field or this idea? What sparked it? Like, did you go to school for this? Did you have like a counselor, somebody at a young age start teach you about real estate? Because this is the last thing you see African Americans partake in, So, and you can start either one.
Sure. So I first got my license about 15 years ago. I was working as a teacher, actually. And a friend of mine, he started his own brokerage and just asked me to come on. So you have to take a test to become a realtor in Massachusetts.
Oh, well, I'm out. No.
So took the test, and then I did real estate part-time, actually. And from that, I was actually able to buy some investment properties based on the money I made, that additional income I made. And so I had my license and worked part-time for a while now. Just recently, over the last 2 years, I started full-time after resigning as an elementary school principal. So I think I really got into it as like supplemental income. And then now that I'm in it full-time, I feel like it's similar to my role as an educator, where I'm just servicing the community, providing like education around just as part of like financial literacy. So I think that's now my passion as far as what the work is. It's really like making sure that people understand what the process of buying is, like how it benefits people. It's an asset, you know, it starts a legacy. And so I think that's just now that's I kind of shift from this additional source of income to just like being someone who's able to provide for the community again.
Absolutely.
And your reason, young lady. You don't have to tell them about me persuading you.
Right, absolutely. I would not be
Whatever,
here
you
at
know.
this table if it wasn't for you.
You didn't have to say that. But what you said?
Getting on my lap. But I have a corporate background in hospitality, but have always had a passion about finance. And I think that that's a conversation that often in our community we're uncomfortable having, right? For a variety of reasons. And so as my attention turned more to the real estate end of things, just from my own personal experiences, buying and purchasing property for myself, for my family, you know, I looked around and noticed that that's not what's necessarily happening throughout my family as a whole. You know, on my mom's side, my, you know, family is, her siblings is about 7 people and only one of them is a homeowner. On my dad's side, my grandmother had 11 children and only one of them is a homeowner. And then of all those people and all their children and my generation of cousins, I am the only homeowner. And so that's something that, you know, we have to change, and it really starts with us, right? So that's what my passion comes from, really and truly. And I felt like when I got my license 2 years ago, of course, I have the opportunity to work with investors and the corporate clients, doing the commercial deals, which I absolutely love and thoroughly enjoy, right? But we can't forget our family. And our family doesn't just consist of the people that's in our, you know, physical, you know, family, but also our community is our family. And so that's what really brought me back to Boston, to make sure that people feel comfortable talking about their money with somebody that they know, to be able to change not only their lives, but the lives of the family members that will come after them.
Great. And this question I've always wanted to ask, like, that's my sister, if y'all you know.
We can see the resemblance.
But I've never asked this question. So many people in the, I say minorities, are scared to buy their first home. Like real estate scares a lot of people. And is there anything you guys could say to like comfort someone who's trying to buy their first home, who has good job, good credit, but the fear factor, which I'm sure you guys have seen, or some of your clients or
Absolutely.
what have you had. Is there something you could say to maybe comfort them when they're already ready to make that step, but it's just fear?
Yeah. I mean, my first thing would be, you know, to get out my shot, because you know you're blocking me. That's the first thing. I know it's your show, you know what I'm saying, but it's my shine right now, so everybody calm down.
You ain't scared, right?
But next is that, you know, I say this often, we have to be our biggest cheerleader and not our biggest critic, right? And so we look at our circumstances sometime and we're like, I can't do this, and I can't do that because I don't have this and I don't have that. Well, you may not have it today, but if you devise a plan and you're steadfast in working toward that plan, you can have it. It may not happen next week or next month, but focus, you know, and perseverance will ensure that you get there. So often I think when I talk to you know, folks who have that nervous energy, and I actually had a client, you know, experience in this, is that she got in her own way, right? So she devised a plan, she started working on her credit, she started doing the things that it was going to take to actually be able to purchase a home, and then the market was not fitting for her circumstance at that time and for her price point, right? She had to be patient. And sometimes patience is a hard thing to really master, right? And so because she wanted it right now, she had to fill that feeling with something, so she went and bought a car. Well, the thing about it is that car now changed your debt to income ratio, changed the circumstances of her loan, and even her ability to purchase a home, right? All because she had to satisfy a feeling that impatience was giving her. So I would definitely say that we got to get out of our own way. You know what I mean? We got to be patient with ourselves, patient with our process, and have faith and confidence that we're going to get there. And I think that you have people like, us at this table that really have a true desire to seeing you get to the finish line,
So doing stuff like that, especially in the inner city, how hard is it to actually, set up time to speak with people? Like, are there programs? Are people willing to even invite, people to sit down and have these type of conversations?
Yeah, I mean, even today, I did a home buyers workshop for Bridge Charter School. The executive director had a parent engagement event and had different workshops, and parents had actually asked for this type of workshop. So I think historically, believe it or not, there were more homeowners of color in the 1960s as compared to now. So it's been a decline. And it's because of, the system, right? You have redlining, you have gentrification.
Absolutely.
There are things that have put roadblocks for home buying, like in education. And so I think, like Deborah said, it's knowing first. You have to understand the process before jumping into it. But you need the guidance of someone that's an expertise and professional. But at the same time, it's valid that it has been a struggle for us to obtain the success or obtain wealth in the ways that white people have. So I think it's organizations, like if there's someone out there, you belong to a church, you belong to a school, you belong to, like, ask for support in making sure that the community has as much knowledge as possible when it comes to financial literacy, buying homes, investing, and all those things.
Yeah, and I think that too, to your point about perception, right? I think that what we need to make sure that people understand is that, you're going and you're purchasing a home, but nobody's giving you anything. You have done the work to get there. You have shown and proved that you have the capacity to be a homeowner in order to get that approval. The bank, the lender, is not doing you a favor. They are earning your business for the next 30 years. Like, really think about that. You yourself, when you're thinking about becoming a homeowner, especially in the Boston market, you're looking at let's just say simply a $500,000 loan. You're giving somebody $500,000 worth of business. You got to step into your space. That's a measure of power. You are a amazing customer sitting at that table because you are giving that organization a 30-year source of income at a 6-7% rate interest rate. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing about it is that we have to change how we think about our situation. No one is just handing you anything. If you're able to sit there and sign at that closing, you've earned the right to be there. And so, shop around, find the best loan for you. Understand that you have 14 days to pull your credit as many times as you want when you're shopping around. It's not like a car or a credit card where every time you get a ding on your credit report. This is not that. You have the right to shop around and make sure that the circumstances that you're signing for you and your family are the best for you and your circumstances.
Okay, I have a scenario. I'm saying I'm a first-time home buyer. I come to you guys. What is the first thing you guys tell me to do? I want to buy a home and I think I'm ready. What's next for someone who doesn't have the knowledge to know what is next, but they know they're ready to buy a home? They have
What
a
I
job.
normally do, if someone comes to me, I schedule a consultancy. So it's pretty much similar to what we're doing. Like, we have a conversation about what your needs are, like what you're looking for, what your time frame is when you want to move in. And then after getting some information and then educating you about the process, then I usually connect you to a lender, because that's going to be that person that can help you determine, like, what your budget is, how much you can afford. Like, if you're in a position where you want to buy, like, maybe your credit's not the best and you can still qualify, but maybe you say, you know what, I want to wait another year because I want my interest rate to be lower. Or maybe there's products out there, mortgage products out there that, that really fit your needs. So the lender is going to be able to kind of answer your finance questions around, like, the money piece of it, and then we reconnect once they have determined that you qualify for a certain amount of money.
Okay. I wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit, like when you were saying, like, how a lot of the home ownership is kind of like systemically placed, like redlining and things of that nature. So what has changed? Like, have you noticed, like, if different states are incorporating certain laws, like, first time home buyers programs, things of that nature? part two to that is like I heard about Michelle Wu, and she now has, I don't know a whole lot about this new home ownership, or I think it was about like the rental properties, I guess.
Rent control. Yeah.
So, are you seeing that more across, all states? Are there like 4 or 5 states that is mastering this more or less? Because I know a lot of people's moving to Georgia and stuff like that. So it's a little loaded, but I mean, what do you guys think?
That's honestly a big question, just because there's so many fluid moving parts and nothing is set in stone right now. But really and truly, I think that we started the conversation initially about affordability, and I think that that's what is attempting to be addressed in the whole rental cap proposition is. Can people afford to stay here that have been here, right? You have a ton of draw to the city because of the college community, right? And those folks that are attending colleges often come from situations that can afford to live in the city of Boston. But can the natives actually afford to live here? And I think that that's what's attempting to be addressed and should be, right? But this is a thriving market. It's a very high demand market. And so I am personally very interested in seeing how things shake up, because we do want to continue to have profitability in our city. We do want to continue to draw investors to our city and to our state, right? But we also want to make sure that the people that live here are able to do so in a respectable manner.
Go ahead. Yes, I understand. And there's another side to this, not just people who are looking to buy a home. What about people who are looking to make income, maybe by being a sales agent or using the property they have also to make income? What do you say to those people who are ready for the next step after buying their first home?
I love those people.
Right, so who are ready to invest.
Yes.
I mean, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
We want, that's how you build. Real estate traditionally has been, or historically has been, the safest, I think, way to invest in money and build wealth. You have your stocks, but stocks can be risky and they fluctuate. Real estate property tends to appreciate, right? And you build equity as you're paying your mortgage. So it's kind of a win-win situation. And then when you're in a situation where you can now buy income property or use your residential, that the first home that you bought, and now you're ready to use that as a rental property like I did, then there are ways that you can, I mean, if your first property is a multifamily, right, you're already in the game.
Absolutely.
You're living almost you can possibly live rent free if you have the tenants paying your rent. But if you purchase a single family and you're ready to buy another investment property, that's, there is actually a strategy of living in it and then renting it out and then buying another. So it's a possibility that you can do that. It's just, being strategic as far as, making sure that you find products where you're not having to pay so much more money down. Because what happens is that if it's your residence, it's more beneficial, you get more benefits from the type of product that the lender is going to offer you or prices, right? But if they know, like, okay, this is an income property, so it's really great if you start with a residential, you rent it out, you go to another property, you go to another property, you become a resident of that prime property, that's your primary residence, you're going to get a better mortgage product, you're going to pay less, or your interest rate may be less, or your down payment may be less because it's your place of residence, so you don't hold it against you, versus the opposite. If you're going and you're living in a property and you're like, I'm buying a rental property, most likely likely if that's not your primary residence, you're going to pay more as a down payment. But there's so many products out there right now, that I think people should I think the first thing is just educating yourself. Talking to a lender, talking to a real estate agent. You'll be surprised how many programs are out there.
And the second part, then I'll let you go, JD. The second part to that question is, okay, now there's people who want to do what you guys do. Some want to be sales agents, from sales agents to brokers. What do you tell them? Because I know it's a hustle game. Like, it's not for everybody to make moves and sell real estate and promote and market. So what do you tell people like that who want to get in the game that you guys are in?
Well, for me, first and foremost, entrepreneurship is not easy, right? anybody who starts and creates something and then wants it to grow and blossom is going to have to put in that sweat equity to make that thing happen. So be prepared for that. While the market is vibrant and there are a ton of opportunities, there's a lot of fix and flips, a lot of buy and holds, a lot of transactions going on in a real estate environment. It can be very attractive. But there's a lot of people, as you mentioned, out there selling, right? And so
fool's gold for some people.
It could be, but the thing is, I think that what sets people apart is really understanding who you are. For me, I'm a very service-driven person. I really genuinely care about the person that I'm talking to, and I'm invested and concerned about your concerns. And that's my thing, right? Now, some people, are just moving fast, or some people don't have time for this or that. Everybody finds their niche, right? When I'm talking to an investor, they are getting 110% of my time and attention. When I'm talking to a first-time home buyer, they are getting 100% of my time and attention. And I don't take on personally more clients than I can sell than I can service at a high level. But
why can't they get 120%?
There's always one in the room, right? There's always that one in the room. That's okay. We work with them too. We sell to them too.
You on the block.
Right.
You sell to
Right. But the thing about it is that you first start off by taking the real estate, course. That is not an easy course. It's a ton of law. It's a ton of information, and it's crammed in a very small period of time. You have to be focused. You have to really want it, right? So I think that when you're talking about starting in, that's really like a training boot camp right there in itself. And then once you even first pass the test for the education system that you go through to get that course, then you still got to turn around and pass the state exam to actually get your license. Right. Now you got your license, and you find a brokerage firm that you think is going to be able to support, educate, and enhance your business, but you still got to go out there and make it happen, right? So you still got to get your clients, you still have to find them, you still have to service them and build confidence, and that just takes time.
But you brought up something just then. You said law, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of laws, right?
Absolutely.
So what I've been told, different people moving state to state or what have you, is that Mass is one of the worst places to actually rent property. Like as compared to, like, let's say Maryland, like, so
or Georgia,
somebody don't pay their rent, they come home and your stuff's out there and it's locked up. But I've known people that lived here 6 months, then filed bankruptcy, and they get another 6 months, so they're living in a house that they're not paying their rent. Right. So it's like, how's that?
The law and the legal system here is very different. I can speak to that from also being licensed in Georgia, right? Because you're absolutely right. In Georgia, your rent is due on the 1st. By the 5th, you are late. By the 10th, you're getting a court date. By the 17th, you're in court in front of a judge, and that judge is handing down, some sort of something by the 20th or so. If that's not paid, then the sheriff is coming and handing you an eviction notice by the 25th, and people are out there putting your stuff on the front lawn at the outside of the apartment complex by the 30th. The new person is coming in there on the 1st. It's very different than it is.
Niggas' kids will be in college by the time they get kicked out.
It's very different.
Yeah, the laws favor the tenants.
It does.
So, and as a landlord, you just have to be vigilant. And that's why a lot of landlords get realtors, because we screen in a way that we want to make sure that you're going to have someone that pays the rent.
That's
you can't 100% guarantee it, but you have certain habits that, if you have a good credit score or a good rental history, but it favors tenants, and you just have to, because if you know the law, this first time someone's late, you have to document that.
You have to enforce your lease. Yeah, you cannot make exceptions. You have to enforce it.
It's going to, you have to say.
That paper trail takes so long before it means something to get them out.
Right.
It doesn't seem fair.
The most important is screening. People don't realize, you want to rent to your friend, you want to rent to the person next door. No, you can't.
Or rent it fast.
Right. And as you can see with, Tisha's condo, we are looking for people that are going to pay the rent. And sometimes landlords look for people that make 2 to 3 times the amount of the rent. So there are certain things you can look for. But on the other side, it's not as affordable for some tenants, right? So there's some things going in Massachusetts where though they favor tenants in the law, there's people struggling to try to make the rent in Massachusetts, in Boston in particular.
Right. So you don't want to own property in Mass.
No, you
Definitely
definitely do.
do.
Oh, no, no,
Definitely
no.
Well, it seems like
I've been a landlord for 15, almost 10 to 15 years, and I have
Right.
not to knock, but
Right.
I've screened my tenant in a way that I have not, fortunately, had to go.
But
You
in every
screened me. Remember the penthouse? That was your spot.
Yeah.
You screened me.
I should have. That's why I say you went to your relatives.
right.
There was no screening involved in that.
But
I broke the screen.
But in any investment, you have risk. That is a risk, right? But that risk percentage is not so gross. And I think the investor has an understanding that when they're investing in the city, that there is such a great rate of return on the investment, especially in the multi-property, unit game, that risk really is small. Because if you have somebody that's been renting your home for 5 years, 10 years, because people in Boston really kind of stay still, right? They really do tend to stay in their units for a long time.
True.
So you've been yielding a profit for a long time. So if you had to go ahead and endure the risk for that 6 months or what have you that it takes to replenish, you know that you're going to turn around. And even if you sell the equity in the house that you've been getting over the years, all of that stuff is really going to add up to it.
That's the best part. The equity,
Yeah.
I think that Boston maintains.
Absolutely.
We're talking about a city where the tenants can barely afford the rent,
Mhm.
right? And then you're talking about this is a tenant-friendly state.
Mm-hmm.
The odds are stacked against me as a landlord, though, right?
But we start this conversation with perspective, and that perspective isn't necessarily in line with the numbers. And the numbers say that Boston is an absolutely very profitable environment to be successful in as an investor.
Right.
And you can see that by gentrification in Roxbury.
Absolutely.
They're buying up properties.
All day.
And then there's a lot of people who are not ready to become homeowners, who become homeowners and find themselves in crazy debt. Some people forge jobs and then they get into a big mortgage and they
Because
can't.
at the end of the day, when you try to hustle yourself into a 30-year loan, the only person you are hustling is you.
Yourself, right?
Because you're the one that's going to have to pay that bill every month, right? And nobody else is, the person that helped you get that scam through is long gone, right? So don't do that to yourself. I'm sure we talk about being house poor all the time, right, with clients. You want to make sure that you don't take on too much debt, because it's not just about getting you in the house. We want to make sure that when you get in the house, you can actually furnish it.
Right.
You can repair anything that gets broken. You can still go on a vacation or do activities for your kids. Yeah, you still gotta live.
True.
That's the thing that I've always seen. Like a lot of people were landlords, but they didn't have enough money. Like if something happened in the house, like you need to buy a new stove, a new refrigerator, and like now someone's sitting there renting, and now you're trying to work overtime to try to buy a new stove or something. Like now these people are talking about, well, I'm not going to pay this month's rent.
Right.
So I mean, it's
You got to manage. It's part of financial literacy, right? You need to know how to manage a property in a way that you save money for things that are going to come up. You pay. So you can't just go in it like saying, I want to be a landlord. You have to kind of have a business mindset of like, okay, here's my gains. How am I using that money to like help prepare for those things that you don't anticipate.
And you create a team. You create a team with valuable realtors first and foremost, right? That's going to be the captain of your team to make sure that you have everybody else on your team working for you in the right ways, whether they're lenders, home inspectors, appraisers, what have you. We're in communication with all of them. And we're not just there for the transaction and then the closing is done and you're off on your own. Like if you have questions, if you still need a referral to a great vendor or something, we can definitely help you with that. You're not, you want to make sure that you understand that this is your business, because when you become an investor, that's an entrepreneurial, situation there, and you can't do it by yourself.
what y'all doing next week?
Selling
you some property.
Also, coming to the also, you guys are on here too to promote what you guys are doing in your businesses too. So for people out here watching, if you both briefly want to tell what your business is, where you're located, how you can help, like promote yourself, and 10% comes here, or this doesn't go out.
Okay, so like I said, I work for William Davis Real Estate. I'm on social media, Facebook. You can find me. My personal page is Marcia Riddick. My realtor page, my business page is Marcia Riddick Realtor. And on Instagram, I'm Marcia Riddick, Riddick.
Same name.
Yes, so you can DM me. My email address is marcia.riddick@ravis.com. And yeah, I mean, I start with just consultancies. I start with just answering questions, even if you're not ready this year.
Right.
Like you're thinking about in the next couple of years, you want to buy. Start asking questions now to help prepare. Instead of you saying, I'm going to wait. You may find that you're in a better position than you thought you were, and you can start working. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or maybe you just want to save more money. Talk to someone who knows that can help you create a plan, and that's what I'm here for. Like I'm here to answer the questions and get the process started, even if the end game is not going to be this year.
That's the grooming part, huh?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And what do you do, young lady?
Well, of course, I just love real estate, and I definitely want to see anybody who has a desire to be successful in real estate at any level do that. So, of course, as we mentioned, of course, first-time home buyers, I thoroughly enjoy working with them and seeing just the energy and enjoyment and fulfillment that comes from closing on your first home. But then we can go from there into investments. I thoroughly enjoy working with investors that are in that multi-unit investment game. There's a lot of them, so we talking, the success stories there are just amazing in Boston for sure. I do work in both Atlanta and Boston, so if you have a need or desire to have real estate needs in either state, I'm honored to assist you. On social media, my Instagram is Deborah Realty, and so that's DeborahRealty. Facebook is Deborah Realty, but you have to add the one. And then I just started a YouTube page, so I'm very excited about that.
Congratulations.
And that's Deborah Realty 1 as well. So definitely doing a lot more home tours. People love to see inside of houses, to be able to see what they're getting. And I think that investors appreciate the fact that I'm constantly showing them videos, mostly through text, but I'm going to be doing it more so on YouTube as well, and just giving them the numbers and information that they need quickly. Off-market properties, on occasion there's a ton of those coming through, and I have some great links and connections with those because people want stuff that not always everybody is privy to. They want it before it hits the market. They want to know what that cap rate is. and so we could definitely have those conversations as well.
Do you see more people nowadays doing just a virtual tour and
it's
not the personal tour going, and still people want to go inside and still see
in Boston,
after
COVID, more, I would say like 99% of mine are in person, unless someone is out of state. Like I have a client that lives in Las Vegas, so I will do some videos for them and send it to them because their time is just not the same, so it's hard for me to like get them live. But in Boston, it's less virtual. During COVID, it was all virtual tours. Now you don't have as many.
But could you really buy a home off of a virtual tour? Because I've did virtual tours, it's so misleading.
If you trust your realtor, you can't.
Yeah, all day.
If I know my client's needs in a way that, I can say to them, like, especially if the house is in great condition. And if it's not, you can explain that to them. But
and if the numbers line up.
Yeah, my eyes, you invest, like, if you trust my eyes to say, like, this is what I need, that it happens all the time.
Absolutely. For me, I find that people, when they're buying their personal property, whether it's an individual like yourself who's buying, their home, or they're buying their first investment property, they want to put their hands on it. They want to walk through, they want to touch it, feel it, right, and be connected to it. When I'm dealing with investors, they want to know what that cap rate is. They want to know what their return on the investment is going to be. They want to know, when was the boiler, replaced, and those kind of things, because they're looking at it from an investment perspective, and so they already have a mindset or an idea as to what their renovation is going to be and what they're looking to get into. So I think that it's just different based on the person that is actually purchasing the property.
Great.
And I know we're probably ending soon, but this could be a part 2. Just like strategies of buying, I feel like people need to utilize the community more. Like buy with your sibling, buy with your buying power. If you buy with people, someone else is stronger than buying by yourself. So if you're looking to buy and you know someone, you trust someone enough, buy with someone else.
And I was going to get into that, but that's what I was saying. You said before I said it. There will be a part 2 because there's another step to this and becoming buying property, LLC in it,
absolutely,
and the taxes is different. So that we could go into
that.
that.
That's the investment.
That's another podcast.
That's like 102 session.
That's
so we'd love for you ladies to come back again to do the part 2 to this. But Mask Uncover, we gotta say a few words about ourselves. It ain't all about y'all.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell. The way you was blocking my view, I felt like you did you already, but okay.
Definitely, man. We want y'all to make sure y'all comment, man. Like, let us know, like, what else you guys want to know. Like, things like that. Like, what are some of the things that you would like to hear in a part 2? But also make those comments, and then if we could answer the questions, we could either respond back ourselves or even reach out to the young ladies that's here today and see if they could, respond back. But definitely, man, Mask Uncovered on all social media. Let us up, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and please comment, man. What you like, what you don't like, whatever it is, we'll take it, man. We tough. We'll take it on the chin.
And like you said, we've been gone for like 4 weeks. I've been gone 4 weeks trying to get things together, life and family and work, but nobody want to hear that. But we've trying to. It's her last time here. The red eye. She's going back.
You said black eye.
Red
Right. You know it's
But we got a few surprises coming. We revamped the show, so you'll see a little difference in it. Hopefully, we'll have a bigger guest. So just stay tuned, man. Bigger things for Mask Uncovered.
As always, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want to say if you ladies were all done, anything else?
Yeah, no, I mean, thanks for tuning in. Share. And I think take the opportunity to make comments so that the next time we're here, we can make sure that we answer your questions.
Absolutely. And be your biggest cheerleader, not your biggest critic.
One more thing, Skids was saying that some changes coming. Definitely, people that are commenting, we might want to invite you down here to actually ask some of those questions in person too. So that's something else that we're looking at. We have a few strong followers that always comment on our videos, so we're definitely thinking about putting a plan together where we can get you guys down here and be a part of the show. So stay tuned for that. But
and maybe when you get here, he'll make you a drink because we didn't get one. Yeah.
Remember, Quavo Penthouse Special, Quavo Special, Jose Quavo Mix, and the Jameson Ginger and Lime. I'll make it for you. It costs you, but you won't do it like me.
We'll drink the Penthouse and y'all can drink the Outhouse. I'll just